We are starting on our journey to Sparta. We are leaving, actually not leaving Porto Rafti, we're on our way out of Porto Rafti. This is the road that was built in 2004 for the Olympics. So now we don't have to take the donkey to the village, we can drive in a car. We're going closer to Corinth, and the Isthmus of Corinth separates mainland Greece from the Peloponnese. And Peloponnese are all the good guys grew up, like the Spartans and Leonidas and Kolokotronis and all the good guys. And we will begin there and see the place gradually. We're approaching Corinth, which is, if our friend Donald Trump would like to know, this is where the two Corinthians came from, just in case. This is where the Isthmus of Corinth is, although you can't look down now because the roads are just, maybe a little something. But now we have gone over to the Peloponnese, land of giants like the Rhadeos family. And now we are headed for Tripolis. Tripolis is the birthplace of some of the Rhadeos. But the real good ones come from a little bit more south, Sparta. But they're all good people. And now we're in Peloponnese. And to me, I feel like the mountains that you're gonna see are like all my brothers. Love them. The elevation so far has gotten a little bit higher, or quite higher than sea level. My ears popped a little while ago, and we haven't climbed anything yet. Before the Olympics, these roads that we're traveling didn't exist. It was almost made for a jeep or a donkey and not vehicles. So this is quite a pleasure. Tripoli lies just behind those mountains. It's like the welcoming mat for Tripoli. You are listening to a very sad song. And you can feel the voice of the guy singing. I think he's in pain also. Maybe it happened to him. It's better you don't know the story behind it. You might get too sad. I hope at least Jay and Donnie are riding with me, and they're probably on a car just going about 150 miles an hour down these roads, because they will enjoy it. As you can see up ahead how the road, this is the new road that curves up on the side. Wouldn't you love as a kid just to be running around up and down those mountains, jumping around and chasing rabbits, or wild pigs or anything that happen to be hanging out there? How good would that be? See, Nico and Maureen, when you guys were here, I don't think though these roads are finished. I think you used the old roads. And what can I say? You should try it again. You might like it. This tunnel up ahead didn't exist before. I don't think it was here when Nico and Maureen were here. So you had to drive around the side, and it was a couple of 1,000-foot drop, and you had about 3 inches. That's when it was enjoyable to drive. Now you go through the tunnel and, well, you can't fall off, can you? To me, that is beautiful right in front of us. I hope you guys like it too. Maybe you could visit here someday. And maybe even John, just curiosity to see where he was born. Next time I come down, I'm going to have him cut some of these trees down so you can see some of the beautiful things on the outskirts of Tripoli. But until then, hopefully we can see some when we get closer to the center. Tripoli Airport to the left, just in case Christy and Brian want to come down. There's a little airport here. And to our right, you would see the mountains that surround Tripoli. On all holidays, we used to walk up to the mountains and have a good time and walk back. That's why we felt good in those days, I guess. This is the road now. We're going to Sparta. Nico, you can even come and buy Volkswagens down here. Uh-oh, the cops have pulled somebody over. Oh, no. Greek cops are doing the same thing our cops are doing. It just ain't right. We just keep climbing slowly because Sparta is also on the other side of the mountains and in between other mountains. That's why Greeks never get along too well. It's because mountains separate them because they don't get along, you see. They have all kinds of honey over there if you want to buy some honey. Honey? Those are just the perfect clouds. Caressing the tops of the trees and putting a little shade on the Spartans walking around doing their chores for the day. George and I are going to stop and get something to eat because we're that kind of guys. This is a pretty nice place. They get good food. So this is Yorgos, my good friend. And this is the Peugeot that brought us so far. Τι δέντρο είναι αυτά από πίσω? So this is a tree that I asked George and he said it's a tree. So he's very knowledgeable as I am. But this is the place. We always stop here for something to eat. They have fantastic food. The guy has all his, from beef to cows to chickens to whatever, he's got his own, wine, etc. And it's a nice clean place in between Sparta and Tripoli. And so there are guys with mustaches and guys without. And there are flowers. And these trees here, they are for shade. They make, they just tie the branches in certain restaurants and they cover the whole thing. And it is just fantastically cool and enjoyable. Anyway, This is Ardamis is the guy's name, and so we'll go and get something to eat. So I'm going to have to put this away. This tree here is a raspberry tree, I guess. But they say a male doesn't have raspberries, the female does, which I don't believe them. I think they're lying. Traveling with a full stomach is better than an empty one. Just in case anybody is wondering. I think over here on the left is a memorial for many Greeks that the Nazis just got a hold of and murder over here. Right over there. Put on your seatbelts, we're climbing again. There's a little castle up there. When the enemy attacks, we just throw rocks at it. Εδώ νομίζω κάπου είναι, ναι. Εδώ όταν βρεις την ευκαιρία, εδώ θα δεις, ναι. Πιο κάτω εδώ να δούμε, θα φάμε κάτω. This in the far out there is Mount Taygetos, the playground of the Spartans in the old days. And right across there, small little villages. And just about where I'm pointing at now, about the center, is where the place where Yaya and Uncle George were born. And again, Yanya, this would be a great place for you to ride a bike, just in case you're interested. Look at those beautiful mountains everywhere, will you? Good Lord. Ecstasy. That's what I say. And there is Mount Taygetos right in front, just the best. It's just there for you to say, here I am. Welcome, Spartans. There you go. John, I can see you doing 120 around these mountains here. Just lean in the inside because the other side, the drop is a little too much. And a straight away. And there's Mount Taygetos over here just smiling at you. And at times you will find snow in the peaks up there. Yeah. We're descending and the ears are popping again. Hey Leo, this is Sparta! And this is a river, Euphrates, and when I was a little kid, it was a river roaring. Now it's a little water in it. Now we're in the ascent going up. As you can see, there are many different types. On the left, you see olive trees. I had a drink of water from that wonderful tasting water. And now we're climbing up and we're going to the town, the little town, if you want to call it that. It's about 5 or 6 houses that John Agriakonitis lives at. Name of it is Kastri, or the castle, or the fortress, or something like that. As you can see, we are now on Mount Taigetos, and we're just starting to climb up. And as you can see, over on the other side, we used to be across the we're in the road looking at the place here. Now we're here looking back at the road. Amazing what we can do. How would you like to be on that little monastery up there, hanging out on a cliff? All olive trees over here. And this is Kastri, home of John Agriakonitis. And this is his house here on the right. But we will see that. Now we're going from Kastri, we're going to Kastorion, which is like the big town here. As you can see, the lovely little homes here. And on the bottom you see Kastorion, beautiful little town. That's like what everybody goes to hang out at, because the other villages are kind of small. This is almost a city. Well, a big town anyway. As you can see, the biggest building is the church.
Αυτό θεωρείς ότι είναι καθοριστικό.
Kastorion.
Θέλω να πω, το τραγούδι είναι αυτό το οποίο ανασύρει μνήμες και δίνει την ευκαιρία.
This is town hall over here. And this is where they have the parties down in the thing there.
Κυρίως με ενδιαφέρει με τον εαυτό τους, οι ίδιοι να έρθουν σε επαφή. Αυτή την ερώτηση, αν μου επιτρέπει τη Λίτσα, την ξεκίνησα το 2014, γιατί κάνω μια έρευνα σε σχέση με τη μουσική του κόσμου.
Gato! There was a cat trying to cross there, and I had to yell at it because we don't want to hurt cats. This place on the right is one of the places we eat and drink quite a bit. This is a place where there's the big bread, fresh all the time. This is the church over there. There's another place we hang out all the time. Eat, drink, and be merry. And this is the center of town. This is where Yaya used to come and hang out as a girl. And now we're leaving Kastorion, going towards Perivolia, where Yaya and I were born. But more for that later. As you can see, there's plenty of water coming from everywhere. Oh, walnut trees. Yeah, the other one with chestnut trees earlier, if you're keeping score. That was a walnut, I remember. This is a little bridge going from Kastorion to Perivolia. Downstairs is a river that runs down there. When I was a kid, I used to walk down by the river up instead of using the bridge. Because I was a Spartan, of course, you know. And here it is, Kalos Oris. See, that says welcome. This is where Elias Mignos lives. This is Perivolia, the town Yaya was born in.